ladies and gentlemen, speaking to us to the title of The Role of Emotions in Our Lives. The role of emotions in our lives. Please welcome Ndumiso Nkonzo.
Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, what are emotions and what is their role in our lives? We hate and we love. Someone tell me why. Now, I will implore you to put on your mental shoes because we are about to embark on a science lesson. I'm happy, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you that I've found the heart. I found the heart that is always linked to emotions. We always say someone wear their heart on their sleeves. But we know that the heart remains here. What is it that they are talking about when they are referring to the heart on their sleeves? When they're talking about the broken heart, what are they talking about? Because we know that the heart continues to pump the blood. Now let me take you back to 1579, when the word emotions was adapted from a French word, émouvoir, which means to stay up. The emotions I'm talking about happiness. I'm talking about sadness. I'm talking about fear. I'm talking about surprise, anger. I'm talking about pride. I'm talking about shame, embarrassment, and excitement. It is said that emotions come from the heart. Like I said, we even use the phrase like someone is speaking from the heart. What does this all mean? Fortunately for you today, I found the heart, and the name of that heart is called amygdala. A-M-Y-G-D-A-L-A, amygdala. It sits right between the ears and the eyes, both sides. For each and every one of us, there is amygdala in both sides of our brains. Now what happens is that when you see something that you either love or you hate, the amygdala transmits energy into your body. You then change your physical appearance. That's why when some people just faint when something bad happens to them. That's why some people tremble when they are scared, because of the reaction from the amygdala. The amygdala is an almond-shaped structure that sits in the nervous tissue. For each and every one of us, the amygdala controls the way the memory works. That's why the emotions, that's why the feeling that you get from the emotions remains so strong. That's why you never forget how people make you feel, but you can forget what people tell you. Emotions are the most present and pressing. Sometimes they are painful forces in our lives. We are driven by day by emotions. We take chances because of emotions. We get excited to new prospects because of emotions. We cry when we get hurt. We make sacrifices because of love. Without a doubt, emotions dictate our thoughts, our intentions, and actions. With superior authority to our brains, emotions, they control us. Our feelings they can alter you to dangerous extremes. You veer too far to the left, to the right, you are bordering on rage. You steer too much to the left, you are bordering on euphoria. As with many aspects of our life, emotions are best met with sense of moderation. You just have to moderate your emotions. This is not to say we should stop ourselves from falling in love. As ladies will tell you, love is a beautiful thing. It should not stop us to jump up with joy when we get great news. These are finer things in life that we should enjoy. Now, how do we control our emotions? You just need to find yourself a place, find a healthy outlet, find someone that you can speak to when you are emotional. Or as Dr. Dimartini puts it, balance your emotions. So gentlemen, when you see a beautiful, sexy lady passing past, don't react immediately because those are emotions. You need to balance them. Replace your negative thoughts with positive ones. Now you have to be careful with emotions because two emotions can be two sides of the same coin. Love and hate. Love is a four-letter word, so is hate. They both spring with passion and they are both very strong. Hate can drive you, so can love. They can both rule your heart and rule your life. Love can fill your heart, so can hate. They can both promise satisfaction. They can both drive you nuts. Hate and love are much like the same, but love can bring you life. Hate can take it away. We love and we hate. Someone tell me why, Mr. Toastmaster.
Instead of falling into the trap of giving a very academic layout and boring us with all the facts, he started by talking about the heart, where for many generations people thought the emotions lie. And he shared with us some sayings in everyday language that all relate to this concept. And then came the research where he told us about a certain part of the brain, which is called the amygdala, which is actually the heart, because that is where the emotions are located, and that was very interesting. I didn't know about that. But then, like I said, instead of falling into this trap of going into too much detail, he then brought it back again to love and hate, which are the strongest emotions, and our whole audience could relate to that. So I think that worked really well. Also have certain things I have to look at. I'm probably not going to go through all of them, but I had to choose something that you excelled at, and I would say you excelled at using your voice. It's a very pleasant voice, you spoke at the right pace, you pronounced every word correctly. I could comfortably follow every word that you said, so I think that is your strong point. I fortunately did find something that I could criticize, and I realized I'm probably doing that as well. And that relates to eye contact. We all know that we should look at the audience and we should look at everyone, so then one easily falls into the trap of looking to this extreme end of the audience and then looking at that extreme end of the audience and really favoring those two positions more than the rest and effectively losing the rest of the audience. And you did do that, so maybe that's something you can work on. Make sure that you look to that side, then maybe for a while to that side, and so on, so to cover everyone. Then there's also a part that says challenge yourself, and I think there you can try and work without notes, because I think your speech would have been very effective if you weren't that note bound. But I know we're under a lot of pressure, you do a lot of speeches, so it's probably a bit of a challenge to try and memorize a speech like that from heart. But I think you can try that maybe next time. I see my time is up, so I'll conclude here. But all in all, really an excellent speech. I enjoyed it, as I enjoyed all the others. And I look forward to hearing your next speech. Madam Evaluate.